Phone cut off. I must have talked for 30 minutes. It might be weird and irrational. It might be really, bad. But they need some type of moral justification. There's something going on in the ether. There's something going on in the metaphysical realm. There's something, they, no matter how hard they try to get away from God, nevertheless, that there's always a string of connection. So they have to come up with these moral justifications. It's just the further they get from God, the more remote and the more weird and the more convoluted and the more stupid these justifications become. So anyway, I personally am convinced that's the moral justification for the promotion of pedophilia, and why so many people in the elite, they think they're enlightened. The Illuminati, they think they're enlightened. This is an enlightened path. Nobody else does this. They think we're evil. They don't understand. That's the whole thing behind Luciferianism and the worship of Satan. And I guess the Freemasons worship Lucifer, and the Illuminati. It's all about Lucifer, because they look at Lucifer as an enlightened one, like a misunderstood bad boy kind of a thing, like an anti-hero. He's a hero, but he's not a hero in the traditional sense. So it all gets very convoluted. But what an amazing place for me to arrive in this monologue when I started out talking about the joining, or they're making a relationship between a monster like John McCain and a saint like Mother Teresa, right? I mean, what an amazing place, because isn't that like a perfect a perfect exemplification, a perfect example of a moral justification for some rotten, stinking, dirty piece of evil like John McCain? Oh no, he's not evil. He's Mother Teresa. And that's another sign too. When somebody really goes over the shark, it's like you're trying too hard, man. Even you, when somebody's trying too hard, it's like a sign. It's like, even you know something is wrong here, right? I mean, that's what we do when we know something's wrong. That's how you spot a liar, is they just go a little too far. Or maybe they go, if they're not a very good liar, they go way too far. It's like, I was with you until, no. See, I know that even you know that this isn't right. Something just is not right with this whole scene here. So anyway, I had to talk about this John McCain thing, because it just it's just crazy. It's just crazy. The billboards on the highway is what put me over the edge. It's like, really? I'm in Florida. I don't live in Arizona. What do I care about some politician from Arizona? It's just ridiculous. I know all the media darlings, they all, John McCain. They go crazy over this. I know that, but when I see the media going crazy over somebody, that's my cue to ignore them, And when they're abusing somebody, that's my key to pay attention. When they ignore somebody, that's my key to listen to what they have to say. So anyway, that's it. Just just another example of the leaders of my church using the church to promote a politically partisan point of view and agenda. It's just like a reaffirmation after reaffirmation after reaffirmation. It's like when Trump was elected, they had like a cry fest at the front of the church. It's like, okay, well, I'm empathetic to the fact that somebody did not get their chosen. I'm empathetic to that. If you want to have a cry fest, I think it's childish. I think it's silly. But okay, go ahead, fine. I mean, that's fine. I'll support that. I'll bring a box of tissues. But you need to make a room with party hats and whistles and candy, because not everybody wants to cry in that particular situation, right? But no, you got to promote the one side, it's always the one side, the one side, the one side, the one side. The one side gets all the respect. The one side gets all of the honorable mentions. The one side gets all this and this and more mentions and more mentions and more mentions and more mentions. Yeah, we're going to promote this one side, and we're going to pretend that this other side, they don't even exist. Those people, okay? That's the way it is, and that's the way it has to stop being. Because, look, we're a church. You don't go to a donut shop to buy motor oil, right? I don't want to go to church and hear political nonsense. Actually, I don't mind because I think it's funny, and I like responding. So actually, I don't mind. But what I'm saying is that's not that, that's not what is that. Is that what we are? A political platform? Is that what we are? If that's what we are, then just say that's what we are. That would be nice. That would be really cool. And then we could all participate, right? Because that's what politics is supposed to be about. Everybody participating. Not people like Max Lucado pretending that they're not partisan and then at some critical juncture come out kicking and, screaming and flailing about some irrational nonsense, like on cue, basically, right? No, you can't pretend. You got to be what you are. You got to say things that are consistent with what other people can see, because we can see. Everybody can see, I don't get this thing where you think you can hide words inside of words. You can send out these little secret these little messages that are kind of like nobody sees what you're saying or hears it. No, we hear it loud and clear. Everybody hears it. So you might as well just say what you are, as opposed to trying to say that you're not what you are, because there's a tension there, right? There's like what do you call that? Cognitive dissonance. There's like something isn't meshing here. You just got to say what you are, and then when you are what you say you are, everybody's like, okay, I got it. That makes sense. I'm with you. And everybody's relaxed and everybody's at peace, and everything just makes sense. But it's like you do this kind of thing with your words, and you try to be like a magician with your tongue and say things, but nobody knows what you're saying except the people that you want to know. No, that's not cool. It is kind of cool because it's funny, but it's not. Ultimately, it's not cool. It's not the way God wants us to be, right? God doesn't want us to be slippery-tongued. He doesn't want us to be sneaky. He wants us to be forthright, right? And plain-spoken, and truthful, and sincere, and to have integrity, and not whine when people challenge your integrity. What did Glenn Money say? Cuts me to the quick to get my integrity test. Let me tell you something, Glenn Money. A man with integrity doesn't mind having his integrity tested. It's like a strong man entering a strength contest. That's what strength contests are for. They're for strong men, And if you're trying to tell me that you don't like having your integrity tested, well, I can only assume that you don't have much integrity, right? I'm not saying you don't. Professionally, you don't. I'm sorry. But in my opinion, that's my observation. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a lot of integrity. But professionally, no. Not little word games, the little fancy dancing, the fancy promoting racism, calling people evil because of the color of their skin. That's not integrity. That's depravity. Okay? That's moral depravity, in my opinion. And that's my opinion, and that's straightforward and plain spoken as to what I think. I'm not trying to be tricky with my words. I'm not trying to hide what I think and just sort of say things like this and, like hypnotize people in their mind so they don't really know what I'm saying, but the message is getting through subliminally and I'm having an effect and they don't know it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I guess that's what people try to do. It is kind of like this, though, because my father had a cottonmouth in his backyard, and a bird came up and started dancing like that, right? Kind of like this, except his wings were out here, kind of dancing, and they hypnotized the snake, And so it is kind of like that. It's kind of like some kind of hypnotizing effect or attempt or something, when you just sort of say things in real, like, duplicitous, slippery, complicated, convoluted, way. It's kind of like people just kind of get hypnotized, and then the message is kind of sneaking in, in the middle of all this. There's like a message sneaking in there, and then they get the message, but they don't know they got the message, Anyway, all right, God bless everybody. I hope you like this. Bye.